Welcome back to the channel. My name is Coomer. If you're new here, I am a breath worker. I'm the founder of the Language of Breath Breathworker School, and I've been on YouTube for a long time. I've been training people in breath for ages. I'm the author of 2 books on the topic, A Practical Guide to Breathwork and The Language of Breath. And we have, since 2020, had a club. It's a Patreon club. It started because, hey, couldn't do breath work in person, so let's do something that everybody can benefit from, and it's just grown from there. The following breath tip of the month comes from that club, and it's 2 years old. So if you want the up-to-date, if you want everything new, you join the breath club. This breath tip is not out of date or anything like that. It's still just as true as the day I said it. But if you're looking to join a club of like-minded individuals who are into breath work, if you want access to my full catalog of guided breathwork sessions using the Language of Breath system of using mixed techniques and adding beautiful music, guided meditations, short sessions, longer sessions, sessions for sleep, for athletes, for altered states of consciousness, everything you're looking for is in the Breath Club, and it's only $5 a month. So to get access to the monthly breath tip, it's the next tier up, $10 a month. You still get access to everything else and plus a lot of other cool things too. But without any further ado, I do want to introduce this month's breath tip. And if you want more, join us in the Patreon club. Let's get to the breath tip. This month, we are going to talk about something that is a common misconception in the breath work world. Oftentimes when people begin their breathwork practice, they say, what should I be thinking about? Where should my thoughts be? And the most common advice that you'll get is, just don't think about anything. Or you'll hear, just think about your breath. Now this is advice that oftentimes gets parroted from one person to the next. And I have to admit, in my early coaching years, back years ago, I would say, just don't think about anything. Just think about your breath. And I didn't know why, other than that's what I was told, and it seemed to work pretty well for me. But if you've taken the online course, the Language of Breath online course, or if you've done any work with me, you know that ultimately the best thing we can do as we do breath work is develop our sense of internal awareness. And so this month, both of the sessions that I came out with for you guys this month are demonstrations of that. The internal awareness that we can develop by practicing. And oftentimes it's this internal awareness that we avoid in life because it's uncomfortable or it's difficult or we're so stimulated by the outside world that we forget the inside world. There's a lot of research. Of course, my book is coming out next year, so I've got a lot of research in that, but a lot of research in the fact that the greater our ability for interoception, or that inner awareness, that sense of inner awareness, the more resilient we are to stress and the more connected we are to our emotions. And this is ultimately what I am trying to help the world with breath work as the Language of Breath philosophy continues to grow and as I work with people that I work with. And so when you practice breath work, what should you do with your mind? What should you do with your thoughts? So focusing on the breath itself is not a bad idea. It's really, when you focus on the inhale, focus on the exhale, focus on the actual physical act, okay? Don't just focus on, you can focus on the air coming in and out, that's okay. But the more that you can get into your physical form, the more you can focus on every physical sensation that you can associate with breathing or with thinking about things. Like for instance, in some of these sessions, we're going to think about maybe something that we would like to become or something that we're trying to get over. There is a connection between our thoughts, so our unconscious self, and our physical form. And the more we can focus on this physical manifestation of what we are, the greater the connection between what we would consider our conscious self and our unconscious self. So there's a lot more to learn, but in the Language of Breath, we ultimately say, the mind and the body, it's all really one thing. This physical form that we have is an expression of of all the internal intelligence that we have. Every bit of you, down to the cell, knowing how to replicate itself, there's an enormous amount of intelligence. So there's no part of you that isn't you. And oftentimes we believe, okay, I'm up here and then I've got this body. And ultimately, the more we can connect with every other part of ourselves, the better health we're going to have mentally, physically, just in general. And the more awareness that we have of ourself and that internal awareness, overall, research shows the more resilient we are to stress, and the more resilient we are and connected, I should say, the more connected we are to our emotions. When these things are in alignment, you get all the other benefits of breath work that we all love. Better sleep, better focus. You get an improved immune system, a reduction in cortisol, and a reduction in all the chronic issues that come with that disconnection with our stress response. And so as we go forward, this tip is a pretty deep one, okay? So I really want you to consider and practice the sessions we have. And then, of course, our monthly live session will be doing this as well. As you practice breath work, pick a place of your just anywhere and focus on it. Pick your heartbeat or think about your feet. Focus on scanning yourself from toe to head on every inhale, from head to toe on every exhale. Focus on any sensations that you have as you practice breath work. And the more you do that, the more you connect breathing, this thing that we're doing consciously and unconsciously, with feeling, which connects us in a very profound way, consciously and unconsciously. So ultimately, what should I think about when I am doing breath work? Get into your physical form. Get into those physical sensations that you have. Even if it's nothing more than the feeling of gravity, or just the feeling of my clothes on my body, or the feeling of my butt on the floor. Start to become aware. And as you do your breath work and as you become more aware, you're going to notice you have better sessions, you more profound aha moments. It's like, wow. And you can take these amazing aspects of breath work that we often call benefits. And yes, they are benefits, but sometimes we look at them as just, a list of things, as opposed to these amazing aspects of what it is to be a human that we can unlock as we become more in tune with ourselves. So, what does this mean? Okay, so we can scan ourselves as we breathe. We can focus on specific parts of ourselves. We can focus on, okay, I'm going to think about an emotion and feel what sensations come up when I think about that emotion as I'm doing the breathing. As I'm doing this breath work, okay, I'm going to make connections between my conscious thinking and the sensations that come up when I think those things. This is the future of breath work. This is the ancient past of breath work. This is where the language of breath is going, and this is where my research and my experience is taking my practice, and where I take all my clients as well. So this is the tip of the month. If you have questions on this, maybe I should explain it more. Of course, you can take the online course. You get $50 off simply because you're part of the Breath Tribe. Check out it's languageofbreathcollective.com, or you can go to jessecoomer.com. Use the coupon code TRIBE, and you'll get $50 off. Or of course, just reach out to me if you have any questions, and I can try to direct you to the best place. Guys, thank you so much again for being in this tier. Thank you for being in this tribe. You are a part of something that is growing, and I want to just thank you from the bottom of my heart. Guys, breathe well, be well, and don't forget to go out there and be kind to one another.